Hey there, Bobcat families. Welcome to Mr. Field's Back to School Night presentation for 8th grade U.S. History. I am Mr. Field, and this presentation is just going to give a little intro into the course that we'll be going through together this year. So, a little bit about myself. I teach 8th grade U.S. History, 8th grade Pre-AP U.S. History, and I'm one of the web coordinators here at Chilton. This is my 6th year of teaching. All of them have been at Chilton Middle School. I was actually born and raised in Rockland. I went to Rockland High School, went to Sierra College for 2 years, and then I did 2 years at Sacramento State, where I got my degree in criminal justice. And at that point, I actually became a correctional officer with the Roseville Police Department. During my time there, I decided I wanted to help people in a different way, so I decided to go back to school and get my master's in my teaching credential. So I did that while working at the jail. And then I've been teaching ever since. I really enjoy going camping, going golfing, playing with my dog. I really obviously like history. When I named my Corgi German Shepherd there in a picture, his name is George Washington. And hopefully we can get to know each other more as the year goes on. So for our class, we'll be talking about the beginning of U.S. history from the colonies all the way up through 1914. And that is the beginning of World War I. So that's where we'll stop. That picks up again junior year of high school. For Pre-AP, it's exactly what it is. It's preparatory for an AP course. So it is my job to get our students in the Pre-AP courses ready for AP work. And so we get the opportunity to dig deeper into topics, maybe move a little bit quicker, and really get introduced to even more topics since we're moving a little quicker. But with that comes the demands of more work and more difficult tasks. And so I'm so glad that you chose to sign up to take on that more challenging task to push yourselves. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing that. So the emphasis in history instruction has really changed over the last 5 or 6 years. And we've been lucky at Chilton to be teaching these new emphasis over the last 5 years. And so in order to teach these skills, we need to understand that history probably, even when I was in middle school and high school, it was mostly about content, like important dates and important people. And believe me, as a person who enjoys learning about history, I think the content is really important. That's why I teach it. But I also know that we can use that opportunity to teach the content by also building up skills that won't just help us in history class. They won't just help us in other classes, but they're going to help us outside of school too. So I really like that opportunity to be able to take on these new skills. Now, one thing that I really like to emphasize during my back to school presentation is that I will never tell students my opinion on a different topic. My job is to get them to create their own opinions on the topic with the evidence that they have researched on a specific topic. So with that, we have formative and summative. When you think of formative, I want you to think of practice. So if you play a sport, that practice gets you ready for the game. The summative, that is the game. That's where we'll have our vocab finals and assessments, and that's what will ultimately go into the grade book. We're also going to have learning behaviors like we've had in the past that we'll be reporting to on the report card. Last year, we introduced a new grading system where we have 4 different levels for grading: beginning, approaching, proficient, and mastery. After last year, we felt we wanted to give better feedback to students and to parents on where you're at in terms of our curriculum. So we've had the opportunity to break it down into 8 points, 8-point scale. So we still have the beginning, approaching, proficient, mastery, but now we can go even more specific and give you a 1 or 2 if you're in the beginning, 3 or 4 in the approaching, 5, 6 proficient, 7, 8 in the mastery. So if you get a 6, you know that you're really close to mastery. Now, if you got a 5, then you know that you're a little bit further away from mastery and you're actually a little bit closer to approaching. We're asking that all 8th grade U.S. history students purchase a 5-star spiral notebook, college rule. Really important that it's college rule. Anything smaller and the papers that we glue in will be too big, and students then have to cut around the edges, and that makes us disorganized. And the whole point of this notebook is for us to be organized so that at the end of the year we will have a nice nice notebook that really summarizes our work that we've completed in 8th grade U.S. history. With all the new stuff coming out with our new learning management system and distance learning, we also had the opportunity to adopt a new textbook this year. Last year's textbook was purchased in 2006. So now we have a brand new 2020 textbook, so I'm excited to be able to use that. And something else new is our learning management system, and it's called Otis. And this is where everything that you will need to be successful in distance learning is going to be stored. So I want you to log into Otis daily, check our class board, that's where announcements will be, our class calendar. Check the lessons tab, that's where I will post materials that we'll need for the day. The bookshelf is really cool, that's where I can store materials that we might not be using that day, but we've used in the past that you can get if you've missed a day or you need to go back a couple days. And then the assessments tab, really important. That's where you'll be completing your formative and summative assessments to be turned in. So with that, here's my contact information. You can always email me through Otis. That's a really quick and simple way. You can also just email me at my district email address. And then I have a meeting time set up where I'll have a Zoom link, and students, parents, you can stop by if you have questions, anything like that, 3:30 to 4 o'clock on Tuesdays. I'm super excited for our year ahead, and I can't wait to see everybody on Monday.